actual starting place of the expedition in Africa is the little village of Akeza, in equatorial heat on the mud flats of the Niger River, and we are already over 10,000 miles away from home. Adventurous missionaries, ivory traders, and elephant hunters have used this town as a jumping-off place many times before us, and signs of civilization are apparent. Life is not a game of bridge and an afternoon of tea for the ladies of Africa. They are too busy pounding rice for the next meal. Yet there are light spots in this dark land. Here is a beauty parlor. She doesn't put in permanent waves. She's paid for trying to take them out. Anyway, she's trying to take out something. Here we charter an old-time wood-burning stern-wheeler, which will carry the expedition approximately 500 miles up the Niger River. From that point, we will travel by truck, and the foot safari will carry the supplies. Hundreds of gallons of gasoline and oil for the truck must be transported and deposited at convenient points along our proposed route. In this manner, or on the backs of our native quarters. We engage most of the town's population at 25 cents a day to chop wood for the boat and gather drift logs from along the riverbanks in their primitive canoes, which are hollowed out of a single tree. The foot safari of 200 natives are chosen from various tribes, and the immense amount of necessary supplies are divided into small loads, which they can carry on their backs far in advance of the truck and sound equipment. The fact that each tribe speaks a different language lessens the possibility of them all striking or quitting the expedition at one time. How would you like to carry 60 pounds on your head 20 miles a day in torturous heat? Finally, the entire expedition is loaded onto the steamship which will carry us up the Niger and into the heart of the dark continent. Then we will begin our great trek across equatorial Africa, where man is the prey of animals and animals the prey of man. Africa the unknown. We had been unable to find a route through the dense forest to the pygmy village, so we seized this opportunity to bribe our way with salt, which necessity of life is very difficult for them to obtain. Boy! Kuja hapa! Kuja! Kuja hapa! Here you are. They love it. Like a child loves candy. It's very scarce in the forest. Chumbi! Chumbi mingi! Kuja! Chumbi guinea? Isha minyada? Yo! He says he'll take us to the pygmy clearing if we bring plenty of salt. We better bring plenty of water. Something tells me he's going to be plenty thirsty. Finally, our little guide brought us to a clearing in the center of the deep Ituri forest, and hundreds of pygmies came from all directions to greet us. The average height is a little over 4 feet, and they rarely weigh more than 75 pounds, but they are well proportioned and comparatively strong. This is the smallest tribe of people in the world. They live in clans of 20 or 30, a few miles apart, and a representative of each family receives the salt. The clan leaders are in turn ruled by a great king who occupies his throne through blood succession, just like the crowned heads of Europe. He is honoring us by coming in from the depths of his forest capital. We wanted to pay our respects to His Majesty there, but the darkness in the interior makes photography impossible, and the king graciously offered to come to us in the clearing. He is comparatively young, and both he and his subjects show character and intelligence. In this, they differ from most of the other African tribes. They make everything that they use, and the jungle furnishes them with food. Here they are constructing arrows. The shafts are made from the hearts of palm trees, which are strong, light, and durable. Look at these beautiful teeth. A dentist in Africa would have a great chance. To starve to death. They mine and smelt their own iron, which they mold into arrowheads. The big savage in the center is the official poison mixer for the whole tribe. He actually stands only 5 feet 10 inches, but the difference in height is so noticeable that he looks like a giant beside them. They shoot very accurately, but depend more on the poison than the force. By their fat tummies. After many days of travel in equatorial heat, we climb to the summit of the Banaugi Mountains. Below is the Tanganyika Valley of Lions, and here among the tribe of Maasais, the most profound tragedy of the entire trip took place. And here in the shelter of a great rock, the Maasais build their manyatta, or thorn-enclosed village, which houses the old men, women, and children of this famous cattle-raising tribe. This manyatta is completely surrounded by an 8-foot wall of thorn bushes, with the cow-dung huts of the natives just inside the thorny circle. This peculiar construction is a protection against night-prowling lions. In the evening, the entrance gate is also plugged with the thorn bushes, and the cattle are herded into the center, where they are comparatively safe through the night of marauding lions in search of food. The whole assembly is only a temporary city, for when the grass is gone from the nearby fields, the entire tribe moves to a new location. A Maasai prizes his cattle rather more than his wives, and he has about the same number head of each. Both are traded in regularly, and the prices vary according to the supply and demand. The old chief told us the average price per maiden is 1 steer, 2 cows, and a keg of honey beer. Of course, second-hand wives are quoted at cut-rate prices. He said he was a good trader and trotted out his collection of female curios to prove it. It is the duty of the Maasai women to take good care of the calves as well as the children, and the chief apologized for those of his wives who were out helping the cows. The rest of them wouldn't come out. Some of the others were nursing calves, for this duty is just as important as the care of the children. Copper and iron wire form the principal adornments of the Maasai women, and their social standing is graded by the amount possessed. Some of the favorites can hardly lift their arms because of the weight of the many metal rings for which the fond husband has traded his precious cattle. The cattle spend the night in the circle of thorns, and at daybreak they are turned loose to graze on the plain. No Maasai ever eats meat. They live entirely on an atrocious curd made from milk and blood, both of which are drawn from the cows. Even in times of starvation and drought, they die by hundreds rather than eat the meat of the cattle, which they persist in treating as ornaments. Dotting the hillsides in the open, but close to the Maasai village, can be seen the huts of the Maasai El Moran or lion hunters, the most courageous and feared of all African warriors. They are the tribe policemen or protectors, and in these clusters of small huts they live like knights of old, being carried their food of milk and blood by maidens of the tribe, who also live with them in a state of free love. They are maintained for the sole purpose of hunting lions, which have become man-eaters or molesters of the great herds of cattle that constitute the wealth of the tribe.